Friday, everybody. I'm gonna give it a few minutes until everybody joins. I wanted to hop on here and do a vibe check. So, yeah. We'll wait a few minutes before we I get going here. Hopefully everyone's doing great. Mark from Capcod, how's it going? Thank you for joining. All right, looks like we got a couple people and we just lost two of them. I was waiting for a little bit for some folks to join. But yeah, I just wanted to do a vibe check on Friday. I know I haven't been live for a while again. So I wanted to get on here and see how everybody's doing and check the vibe and see what's up with everyone on this Friday. Is anyone doing anything fun? And maybe you're just relaxing, whatever it is you're doing. But I wanted to get on here and check in with everyone. So I'll give it a few minutes. If you're on, share with me your name, where you're from, how you're doing, all that good stuff. If you're new to my lives, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. I usually do lives every week. They have been kind of inconsistent lately because I've been kind of busy with my personal and professional life. So unfortunately, you know, I do these as much as I can. In some weeks I'm able to do more than others. So yeah, it's kind of, it depends really. How's it going, Sandra? Hope you're doing well. Welcome to the live. Thank you for stopping by. How are you doing? How's your vibe? This is a vibe check, so how you doing? Great? So-so? Meh? And if you're doing meh, let's bring that up. That's the intent of this. You know, I really want to bring everybody's vibe up. And just a little reminder as we go into the weekend. I know for a lot of folks, weekends are something that we look forward to. I used to be like that when I was in the corporate office, but now I enjoy every single day. Weekend or not, I really do cherish every single day as much as possible. So Vienna, wow, Austria, that is beautiful. I really want to visit Vienna. It looks like a really beautiful place. So hello, and thank you so much for stopping on by, Sandra. And then we have Angelique. Hello, Angelique, how are you doing? Thank you for joining. I hope you're having an amazing Friday so far. And I hope you're having some fun plans for the weekend. I don't know what the circumstances are in Austria, but hopefully not too bad. Hopefully you're not in lockdown and you're able to enjoy your weekend, Sandra, as well. Wishing you the best. Hey, Traveler75, how's it going? Working from home now. Right on. How's it going? Hadeya 8337. I got some music for you guys. We'll wait a few more minutes, but just gotta turn up the vibe, you know? Just want everybody to have an amazing weekend and really just, I want to remind you all that, you know, happiness is at our own reach, right? It comes within. And if you're having a rough time right now, if you're going through some challenges in your life, I just want to remind you that you got this and that, you know, it will pass. That you've gone through a lot of challenges in your life, and don't forget that. Don't forget how strong you are. Don't forget how amazing you are, because that's what's going to get you through. You know, we live so much in our heads, and when we are hard on ourselves, it only brings us down, and those challenges that we're facing only become more challenging, right? So please just be kind to yourself and give yourself the space that you need and the opportunity to grow, the opportunity to have a good day, and change your perspective. Don't think the same way you're doing every day if you're getting the same results. Try switching things up. And I know that might be challenging, but that's the beauty of life. Challenges gives us opportunities to grow. So yes. Traveler 75, saludos. Yes, hello. You are in Tennessee. Oh wow, that's awesome. Welcome to Tennessee. That's awesome. What part of Tennessee are you in? Hopefully you're enjoying. Yes, the mountains are beautiful. It is very green right now in Tennessee. I am in love with how green everything is. If you were here maybe like a couple of weeks ago, everything was blooming. It was pretty magical. But yeah, it's sunny out here today. I'm gonna go and after this get some vitamin D, get some sun. Okay. But yeah, thank you for your kind greetings and welcome to Tennessee. How's everybody else doing? Vibe check. Come on, guys. How you doing? I know I've been away for a while, so glad to see some familiar faces. Looks like, yeah. Nobody's getting nothing. Okay. Then I will continue to talk. If that's the case. Oh, that's my sister. How's it going, sis? Hey, is this your first time you're joining my live, sis? If it is, welcome. Thanks for the good wishes. You have a great Friday. Thank you, Dzoli.lu. Thank you. I really appreciate that. You as well. Please stay positive, stay motivated. Life is beautiful. Don't forget that. But yes, again, if you are new to my lives, I do these every week, or at least I try. And I typically have different topics that I discuss, but for this one, I want to do a vibe check and just see how everybody's doing. I've been pretty busy with coaching and as well as my personal life. I've had a friend that just came to visit, so I've kind of been away for a while. I haven't been posting as much. But I wanted to do a vibe check just to see how everybody's doing. I'm doing great, by the way. Something that I do every single day is I wake up as if it was Friday, And if you think about it, if you just put yourself in that mentality and say to yourself like, wow, today's Friday. In your mind, you can say that and live it as that and really seek to be happier, and don't just wait for 3 days out of the week to enjoy your life. Just change the way you think about things and start it with gratitude. It can be simple things like gratitude, practicing gratitude and smiling and looking forward to maybe going on a walk, or maybe it's your dog. For me, it's this little guy over here. Let's see. How come I can't twist it? There we go. This little guy right here, my assistant. He's snoozing right now. But yeah, just every day is a beautiful day to be alive, and I really am a huge advocate of that, and I live it. So let me read some of these comments. Thank you for your words, positive attitude. You're welcome. You're very welcome. Thanks for your wishes. Oh yeah, I already read that one. Sorry, I wanted to put a heart. No worries. You're welcome. First time here. Today's Shabbat. Excited. Oh, right on. Is it Angelica 81? Thank you for sharing that. And welcome. Typically, it's a little bit more popping with my lives. This is kind of a slow one, but that's okay. Even if there's one person in my life, I really don't care. I still deliver the message, because maybe that one person needed to hear what I needed to say. So you never know. But yeah, so typically, like I said, I come on here and we have discussions. I do live coaching. Like if someone needs some, help or recommendations, or if you're going through something, I'm here to help, and I'm here to provide advice or bring your vibrations up. And sometimes I share some insights, share some knowledge and some techniques and tools. So typically that's how my lives are. With the exception of once in a while I'll do this like a vibe check to see how everybody's doing and just have an open agenda. So whatever you guys want to talk about, we can talk about. But yeah, that's very kind. You want to help people. Yeah, of course. I left Google to, working at Google to do this, to be a life and health coach, because I'm very passionate about it. And, that's my purpose. That's my life purpose. That's my passion. And I feel like, a lot of people need it. And I've been fortunate enough to have gone through a lot of different growth and challenges in my life that have given me a lot of perspective, that have given me a lot of experiences, I should say. If you want to hear my full story, you can go to YouTube and search for Our Healing Voices, and it's episode 22. I had an interview recently with Aaron, who is the host, and I share briefly about some of the things that consist of my life. So if you're interested in learning more, you can check it out on YouTube. But yeah, this is what I do. And yes, I am a very high vibe guy, and I love life because life is beautiful. And I believe that energy is this beautiful thing that can be contagious, right? And if people are going through rough times, if you're going through maybe some depression, maybe some anxiety, maybe some anxiousness or anger or sadness, whatever it is, I believe that your vibration is here. And when you meet someone that their vibration is up here, it can lift you, right? It can lift you up to that higher vibration, and you can start to have this beautiful thing called hope, right? You start to feel hope, and you start to be like, you know what? You start to see the light at the end of the tunnel. And that's really a powerful thing. And so I want to contribute to this world by, even if I come here and there's like 11 of you, I always imagine like all of you are with me in a room and we're having this conversation, and that's 11 souls, that's 11 lives across the world that I am reaching out to. So yeah, that's what I do. You've obviously seen my videos. They're very mental health related, and I always try to do different topics, and I share things about my life. So they're very raw, they're very real. They're not staged. I don't think about what I'm gonna say. It's very like in the moment, and it comes from the heart. And that's what my coaching is too. It's not like pre-script. It's not none of that stuff. It comes from my heart, and really connecting with people and feeling what they're going through, and being the most of help. So yeah. Welcome. Let me read these, because I get behind with these, and then I feel bad because I really want to answer everybody's questions or comments. It's very kind of you to want to help people. Absolutely. I'm a health coach as well. Sweet. Thank you so much, Angelica. I really appreciate it. Thank you for you doing your health coaching, because health is extremely important as well. So thank you for doing that. Not many good people in the world. I think that there's a lot of good people in the world. I just think that there's a lot of hurt people in the world, right? And sometimes pain comes in many ways, and it can come in forms of anger. It can come in forms of seeking like doing things to get attention, because most of the time people who are in a lot of pain, and this varies of course, they're feeling really, really bad or really awful inside, and maybe it's because of the way they grew up, but they don't know how to properly communicate. They'll do things that are negative to destruct themselves and or others to make them feel better about themselves. So while those things are not great, and I don't agree with him, obviously, it's just sad because really they're just hurting inside really, really badly, and that's more of what goes on in the world than just bad people. Although they are those, trust me, there's plenty of those too. But I think there's a lot of great people in this world too, and that are just in a tough spot, in a really in a dark place, and they wish they could come out of it, right? But sometimes don't have the resources or the strength to do it, or the guidance. So that's just my opinion, at least. But absolutely, I'm here to help. Well, have a blessed day. I have to go, but glad I stopped by, visit my life sometimes. Yes, I will. Thank you, Angelica. I don't know if you're still here, but if you are, have an amazing weekend. And I have something on my teeth. Oh, breakfast. Okay, any advice on how not to be so much of a perfectionist and it stops you from taking chances? So, okay, professionalism is a made-up thing, and what sounds like it's maybe you are like things done a certain way, and that's a control thing, right? So it makes you feel good when things maybe get done right. Also, when you feel better when it's done your way, perhaps. Correct me if I'm wrong here. These are just some things that I'm just trying to. Some of the possibilities, some of the things that come with professionalism, but it's all coming from control, right? And fear of failure, or fear of not being able to navigate that, right? And having to do things all over again if it's not right, or things like that. So I guess to answer your question, for when it comes to perfectionism, it would be to understand why is it important for you, and what does perfect mean to you? Because perfect does not really exist, if you think about it, right? Like it's a made up thing. There's nothing in this universe that's perfect. So we have made this word, right? The perfect is the ideal thing. But if we lived in a perfect universe, then we wouldn't be having this conversation. So challenges and imperfections, or right, and imperfections are necessary in the world in order for us to grow. And sometimes we need to learn to be open to change in order to grow. Because if we stay stagnant, we just want to do things that are quote unquote perfect all the time, then A, that's kind of boring, and also B, you're not really growing. So instead of maybe using the words perfect, I would challenge you to think about, why are these things important to me? Right? So understand that, and then why is it important for them to be quote unquote perfect, right? And am I open to just going with the flow of things? And if not, why is that? Like, what's the fear of that? There's always fear attached to that. Is it control, or is it failure, fear of failure, or what is it, right? So once you explore that, okay, so this is why I need to talk and read. Because people would start writing. Okay, any advice? Okay, and then for the second one, taking chances, they go in hand, right? So you're afraid of taking chances because of fear. So fear controls most people's lives. They're afraid to go for that job or they don't go for that job because they're afraid, or they question themselves, right? To talk to that person that they're attracted to, or to take a chance on something, or leave their job, or ask for a promotion. You name it. What stops people from being at their full potential it's fear. It's always fear. And so how do you overcome that? Is by first identifying those fears, right? And saying oh, okay, you know what? I'm aware that the reason why, essentially asking why, the reason why I'm afraid to do this is because X, Y, and Z. Finding the seed, and then once you find it, saying, okay, well, how can I overcome this? And you're gonna have to face it in order to grow, and it's gonna feel uncomfortable. However, that's gonna be the only way you're gonna move forward, right? In life. And the more you do this, the more you face your fears, the more you're gonna start to build your confidence, because you're gonna say, wow, like that wasn't so bad. Like I got this. I can tackle on this next thing that I'm afraid of. So I don't know if that's helpful. Without knowing a lot of detail, that's what I would say. You know, just practicing, really getting to know yourself. Like what is it that controls your life, or you feel like limits you from doing the things that you want to do. And it sounds like it's a little bit of fear and control. Like by you having control, you feel more empowered, perhaps. And so that's why you want things to be done a certain way. So let me know if that's accurate. If not, then sorry. It's afraid of falling, but yet you need to fail to succeed. Yeah, I mean, ask yourself, what is failure, right? Because we use that word in society, and we have this idea that failure is terrible. But failure, if you take the word failure and then you change it with opportunity, right? So instead of saying, well, you know, I failed at this, you know, I'm not good and I suck and this why, and you just start like putting yourself down. Or you can say, okay, I didn't get the results that I wanted here. So what's the opportunity for me to grow? Like, what's the opportunity for me to say, okay, where can I grow from this experience, right? And that's just perspective. So changing your perspective and not looking at failure as a terrible thing, but as an opportunity, it's really going to change your life and the way you look at things as you learn and as you navigate this beautiful life that you're in, right? So it's like riding a bicycle, right? You're going to fall when you get the training wheels off, but does that mean you failed? No, you didn't fail, right? And what did you do? You got up and you learned from that as you were learning about balance. And so it's just about getting up and saying, okay, you know, that didn't work, so let me try something different. What did I learn from this experience? Hello, thanks to you, I've changed my life, my lifestyle, and I'm losing weight, 20 pounds down. Whoop, whoop. Wow. Congratulations. That is awesome. I love that. I am so happy, so proud of you. Keep freaking going. You know, wow. I just want to, La Guerra 108, I am so proud of you. Keep going. That is amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that. Wow. That's what I'm talking about. You know, when people take charge of their lives, it's just so fulfilling. It makes me so happy that people are willing to face their fears or face their discomfort. And most important, that they decide to take action, right? To take their life back and live the life that they truly want to live. So really, really awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. I think that's amazing. And thank you. That makes me so happy. Lisa B 320 or 312. The fear part is correct. I'm afraid of making mistakes, but no, it's okay because I'm not perfect. Again, do you want to be perfect though? And if the answer is yes, you'll never reach it. And is that something that is that the life you want to live, right? Is like constantly putting that pressure on yourself, and it's an unrealistic pressure, right? Or do you just want to learn? Do you want to show up in the best way you can? And when things don't work out, do you want to grow? So that puts a little bit of a less pressure on you, and it will reduce like anxiety, and it will reduce these unrealistic expectations that you're holding for yourself. And in return, you will feel a lot more calm. And by feeling more calm, you're going to be able to show up in the world a lot better. So that's why, you know, words are really powerful. And the words that we tell ourselves, we have to be very careful and really mindful of what we are saying. Because if we're using really strong negative words or really unrealistic words, we're putting that pressure on ourselves, and it creates that anxiety. And by creating that anxiety, we show up with that anxiety, and we're not able to really be at our full best, and it's hindering us to actually be what we so claim want to be, such as perfection, right? So I really invite everybody to just be mindful of that. Like, think about what the things that you say to yourself. Like, pay attention. What is the story that you're telling yourself? Like, and would you tell that to your best friend? If you are negative with yourself, right? Is that how you would be with your friend? Chances are probably not. So why do it to yourself? And sometimes it's because we lose that awareness, and we don't hold each other accountable for that. And so we have to look inwards and take a look and see how is it that we're navigating this ship, right? In order to then ensure that we have a smooth sailing into the ocean, right? So yes, La Guerra, again, I'm just so happy. I don't know if you're still here, but that's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. Isa B, I hope I'm saying your name right. Thank you so much for your input. I'm glad I caught your live. Absolutely. Thank you for your support. And I think it's your first live, so welcome, and I really hope it was helpful. Let me see, you said something else. No, I don't. Just want to get over the fear and take chances on things I want out of life. I do not want to be perfect. Okay, that's good. You know, Isa B, I think I'm gonna call you Lisa. Is that cool? Lisa, that's what life is all about. It's about taking chances. It's about living in the moment, and, you know, listening to your intuition, leaning on that. And even especially when fear comes knocking at your door and wants to, like, stop you from living the life that you know you want to live or you should be living. Because this is it. At the end of the day, we allow the exterior things, right, to control our lives, and that's an allowance that we allow, right? And what I mean by that is we allow other people to influence the way we think negatively about ourselves. We allow society and the way the structure of society is in the pressure that we put for ourselves. But we haven't been taught, right, to look inward and say, what does that look like? Like, how does that resonate with me? You know, these things that I'm telling myself that I've learned from other people or from society. Like, does that feel good or does it not? If it doesn't feel good, then you need to really think about, you know, if that's something that you still want to continue to practice in your life. You know, if it doesn't feel good, that's your intuition telling you, like, hey, like, this doesn't align with us. This doesn't align with who I am, right? So anyways, just wanted to share that perspective and really consider that thought, because it really lies in, like, fear. It comes from a lot of the times comes from the outside world and what we think of other people and if they're going to judge us and this and that, and it's just really unfortunate because it doesn't matter what people think, really. It's what we think and how we want to show up, and we're so worried about blending in, right? But yet we have things in this world, like we capitalize on things being unique, like, oh, like, this car is one out of 200, and we're like, oh my God, it's so rare and so valuable. But we don't value ourselves that way. We are unique. Whoever you are right now, you are one out of 7.6 billion people in the world, and that makes you the most unique thing and being in this universe, right? But how many of you actually think that and believe that way about yourselves? You know, and the unfortunate answer is that a lot of people don't feel that way about themselves, and they think, oh, I'm not good enough, or I'm not this and I'm not that, and you want to be cool, or you want to blend in with people, and it's not the way to live. And so but we live this way because that's the way we've been taught. That's what society has taught us, right? Is to think this way, and it's very destructive. It's very harmful. So Yeah, I would invite you to just be brave, right? And do it, take little steps, of course, and just think about like what is important to you and who are you and who do you want to show up as, and that should be your true, genuine self. And if you are not doing that, how does that feel? It probably doesn't feel very good, right? So I would invite you to really discover that. You only live once, and the best way to live is by being who you are. And if there are things that you're unhappy about that don't feel good, then discover on how can you change those things one day at a time. If you just do one thing different, one thing, right? That's 360 plus things that you could be doing a year. And that adds up to a lot when you put into that retrospect, right? So just doing one extra thing a day that gets you closer to feeling more comfortable, feeling in your own skin, feeling more comfortable in your personality, your persona, then that's one step closer to being that much happier and in your purpose and in your alignment. So that is a lot in which what I teach to my clients is I help them really find themselves, their inner child, their that beautiful light that lives within all of us, that inner child beauty that we kind of store away as we navigate and we experience life. I really help my clients kind of get there. And sometimes, I can do it quickly, and other times it takes some time, right? And you have to be very mindful that not everybody's ready for that. And so everybody's journey is different, but the way to live your life is really by living your true, genuine self, and you're going to feel so much happier when you do that. So I'm going to take a moment here to read some of these comments. So let's see. Lisa, I think I already read that. Yep. And then LaGuerra, true. Hey, I'm so happy, LaGuerra, again. I don't know if she's still here. Lisa, I'm a very positive person. Just can't get over the fear of taking chances to better my life. So my question to you would be, if you're positive, right? But you say you can't get over the fear of taking chances. Like, what about taking chances scares you, right? I would ask yourself that. Like, what is it? What is it that it's stopping me? Like, what kind of fear is it? And what's more important, to stay at this level, to live my life in fear, or to overcome this? Where's the reward in the long term? Because, let me share something real quick with you. You may have heard, or I know in the civilian world, like if you were to go to sky jumping right now, for those of you who have done it, you know about this, and those of you who have not, I'm going to walk you through the process. If it's your first time, you're going to be with somebody behind you, and when you're 10,000 feet above ground, you're about to jump, you kind of take a look and you see that, and you're looking at death, right? And then the guy behind you will say, all right, on the count of 3 we're going to jump off. And it's never on the count of 3, it's usually on the count of 2, because otherwise people hang on. And when you jump off, that's only 1 to 2 seconds in which you're overwhelmed in fear, right? You're like, and then you're free. You're free, and you're like, and then you enjoy, you feel liberated, and you're like, oh my gosh, you get this like rush of adrenaline, and it's an incredible experience. And fear is very much like that, right? And if you can just get over those couple of minutes, right, or a couple of seconds sometimes, and just push forward, you then realize like, wow, like that wasn't so bad, and that was actually, I grew so much from that, and that was actually like amazing, right? And I'm so glad I did it. So you have to put things into the scale. Either you want to live your life every single day with fear, or you can say, you know what, if I can just get through this, if I can push through this in the long run, right? In the long run, I'm going to feel so much better. And that's going to give you encouragement to then take on another thing that you have, that you fear. And it's going to build your confidence. So I think I don't know if that's helpful, but that's what I would say. It's the process, right? It's allowing yourself to stop using the word can't and say, how can I? instead of can't, right? And just doing it. Pick one thing that's small that you want to approach, and do that. And that's going to give you, it's going to slowly give you more and more confidence. Amira, hey, how's it going? Amira, how are you doing? I want to be good in my way. Amira is one of my clients, and she is an incredible woman. And thank you so much for joining, Amira, and for your participation on my live. And I want to be good in my way, and we are getting you there. And I'm just so happy to be working with you, and so glad. You've done incredible work. I mean, talk about a person that's just driven, and that's another thing too, right? If you want to change the way you feel about your life, you have to take action. You have to be driven. You have to want to do things differently. And that sometimes can be uncomfortable, but that's where growth is built, right? It's breaking that, I'm afraid to do this, or blah, blah, blah. Like, break through that. And when you have a guide or a support, someone that can support you, you feel like, okay, I got this, right? Like, sometimes we all need a little bit of a push, or a little bit of a, hey, you got this, I believe in you. But Amira is a prime example of that. She's my client, and she's done so well so far in the weeks that we've been working together, and I'm just so proud of her. So welcome, Amira, and thank you for participating on my life. Lisa, okay, cool. You're welcome, Lisa. Sierra, true or just want to be enough for the person we want. Yeah, anything you want in your life, whether it's abundance, whether it's love, whether it's happiness, whether it's whatever, peace, right? It comes within. You have to be at peace with yourself. You have to love yourself. You have to be open to abundance yourself, and giving in order to receive that. It's the law of attraction. It's a real thing. And if you're not familiar with it, you should definitely look into it. But it doesn't, you can want it all you want, right? But if you're not it yourself inside, you're not going to really attract the level that you want it. So when you want something, right, like a perfect partner, for example, I recommend that you do a list and say like everything you want, right? And then look at that list and say, am I those things too? Because if you're not, then you're having expectations in which are not realistic, because you're asking for something that you're not even yourself, right? So that's an opportunity for you to be like, well, you know what? Like, I have some work to do, and that's okay. In order for me to attract the person that I want, in order for me to attract peace and to feel at peace, I have to be at peace with myself. And that oftentimes means healing. That oftentimes means forgiving yourself. That oftentimes means really letting go, right? And being content with yourself and accepting yourself. So, all these things that we want from the outside world, that I call it, is really within us. We like to go look outwards for it because it's easier, right? But the mirror is the best place to look for anything we want, really. So, something just to think about. The home loan specialist, hey, from Cape Town, how's it going, sir? What is your name? Thank you so much for joining and for your introduction. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Good morning from Saxton, Saskatchewan. You got me on that one. James, hello, how's it going? Lagua 8, yes, I'm here. You're so right and on point with your advice. Thank you so much for your support. And thank you, Sierra Villa, for the bag of Kish. Thank you so much. Thank you, Alex. This is from Amira. Thank you, Alex, and you are an amazing coach. Thank you so much. That means a lot to me. And Sierra Villa says thank you. No, thank you. And Tekken, man, some of these names, like, I don't want to say them wrong. Is it Tanana Tekken? Sorry, what's your name? Hi, sir. Finally, I'm here for your live. Yes, welcome. Tell me your name, because I know that's not your name. But yes, welcome. But does that make sense to everybody? Is that resonating with the people who are listening to this? It really does come from, everything comes from within. And I know that if it sounds bizarre, it's maybe an opportunity for you to think about that. And I know, a lot of people, when I say this, I always get interesting feedback, but because of COVID, we've all been in quarantine and stuff, but I asked everybody to spend some constructive time with themselves. And that means like, not just watching TV, not just like reading a book, not like doing things that distract you, but actually like going out for a walk and like thinking about yourself for once and being like, hey, like, how am I doing? Like, am I happy? And if not, then like, what is happiness? And asking questions like, what does happiness mean to me? And what do I want out of my life? And am I living my true self? And if the answer is no, like, don't let that be a sad thing. Like, let that be a wonderful thing that you're actually like looking into that now, right? Rather than living your entire life and then being on your deathbed and be like, shit, I wish I would have done this and I would have done that and this and that, right? Like, don't let it get to that point. Live your life every single day and face fear. That's why this is called Bravery Life Coaching, because that's why when I named this, that's where it came from. My own experiences, the only way I'm here is because I have decided to be brave with myself, right? And showing up to life and saying like, wow, there's an infinite possibility to do anything I want to do in life, and only if I believe that. And I've been put in some pretty interesting situations, and that situation has really made me feel really, really challenged, and I had to be brave in order to overcome it. So yeah, let me read some of these. It's awesome to see how amazing you are at this. Continue making a difference in people's lives. Thank you, sis. Naida, gracias Salamone. That is my sister, like my actual sister. So thank you so much for your support, sis. It means the world to me. You are an amazing mother, an amazing human being. So thank you for being you. I love you. And then Sierra Vida 02. I'm doing so much and I feel I'm on the right path emotionally and mentally. I'm slacking. Well, if you recognize that you're slacking, then, change that. Like I said, every day, just do one little thing, right? That can help you. That can help you kind of get closer to the way you want to feel and the kind of life you want. And just be devoted to it and dedicated to it. There's obviously a lot of tools that can help you with this. We have to reprogram ourselves, right? And it doesn't happen overnight. You have to. Some of us have, have habits that we've had since we were little kids, and it's now like we want to do things differently, and you're like, man, it's really, really tough. Well, yeah, you have to reprogram your mind, right, to do something that it's not going to feel comfortable, and maybe it's going to be very challenging, but what makes the difference is staying persistent, because we're creatures of habits, and we actually are able to adapt pretty amazingly quickly if we allow ourselves to open ourselves to do that. And so a lot of that is having that perspective and that mindset of saying, I'm open to this change and everything that comes with it, and I'm going to overcome this. I got this. So a lot of people know what they need to do, but there you go. Yep. To commit to do the work to get there is hardest part. Yeah. And I think to piggyback on that, the way I try to make it with my clients is understanding why, right? Like when you give things feelings, it's no longer just a thought like, oh, I know I need to do this. No, give it feelings, right? Give it a reason, like why you're doing it. And like get real with yourself and like motivate and find that motivation and understand the result of you reaching that goal, right? So if you have that very clearly, and you can have there's a lot of tools like, hey, I'm going to put a sticky note, for example, and like this one. This is one of them. I am abundance, right? I have it right here where I can always see it. So you can do little simple things like that, like putting a sticky note, and it can be a reminder on your mirror. So right when you get up in the morning, you don't forget, and you're holding yourself accountable, and you're gonna be like, you know what? I need to do this. And a lot of it is discipline, but discipline again is just a mentality, is wanting to do something bad enough, right? That you're determined to do it. You're determined to do it no matter what. And that's where we have people like me, like coaches, where it can be like hold you accountable and guide you, right? So then it's like, now you're like, oh shit, I have someone that I've told them I was going to do this, and I'm investing money into this. So now there's a value exchange, and you take it more serious. So yes, 100%. That's something that I witnessed a lot. A lot of folks have the knowledge, and they just need the push or the right motivation or guidance and the desire to really want to make a change in their lives. Hey, Paula, how you doing? Paula is my usual. She's been on all of my lives pretty much that I can think of. So good morning to you, Paula. I hope you're doing well. Ladyfield Artillery. Okay, she says constructive development is tough to do, like pulling yourself out of that deep hole. I mean, yeah, so and here's what I have to say to that. Like, if you tell yourself that things are tough, then you're right, they're going to be tough. If you tell yourself that things are going to be challenging, then challenging is a little bit better than tough, right? Or impossible or things like that. So while things can be very challenging in life, it's also just about the desire of wanting to, how bad you want to get out of that hole. And if it's bad enough, like, you can find that, right? You have to dig, again, because you're doing something that your brain is not used to, and you're wanting to shift, you're wanting to pivot. And so fear is going to come up a lot. But if you're able to really do that, to say, hey, you know what, like, I got this. No matter what, I'm gonna do it. Write it down, like, do whatever you need to do. Then it's gonna help you. It's gonna help you to look up and see the light at the end of that tunnel and start crawling out of that hole, right? But you have to want it bad enough. It's really what it comes down to. Sir, I made it. I broke up with my BF when I was with him. And you don't have to call me sir. My name is Alex. I'm always crying, but now I'm happy without him. Good for you. I mean, of course first of all, good for you. That's awesome for standing up for yourself and knowing when to quit, right? And when to let go. That can be a really challenging thing to do and to navigate. We all want that significant other to find that perfect love. And sometimes, the people that come in our lives that don't give us that and hurt us, it's necessary so we can grow. We can learn from those mistakes. We can learn from that pain. But pain is necessary. It's a way of perspective. What's not good is to hold on to that pain, right? You want to be really mindful on how you navigate pain. And allow it to go through you, allow for those feelings to come out, allow for the tears to come out and all those emotions. But then, like, pick yourself up and say, you know what, okay, like that really hurt, that was really painful, but I got this, life goes on, and I'm gonna be happier now because I deserve better. And I want to learn from this experience. And so I challenge you to not look into him, but focus on yourself, meaning, like, don't focus on all the things that he did wrong, and instead say, like, well, how could I have prevented this? How could I, show a better next relationship? How can I grow from this experience? So that way you're elevating yourself, right? And you're gonna attract a better version of that person that you experienced. And so there's always room, right, for us to grow. And that oftentimes these people that come into our lives that hurt us is an opportunity for us to look at ourselves and say, like, okay, how come I attracted this person? And you maybe start to see some things that come up that you were doing, or they challenged you in about things that that you know, right, yourself, that you really need to change. And then yeah, of course they're gonna be shitty, right, because you're not fully good yourself. And sometimes there are just people who are crappy and come in our lives and they hurt us. And you know, and the lesson there is forgiveness, to learn how to forgive and to learn how to understand that some people are really broken, some people are and they take it out on others, and to not be that kind of person, and to say, wow, I'm never going to be like that, but never hold like, you know, anger or any, oh, like, I hope that person, the worst for them. Like I would invite you to not think like that, because it's not gonna feel good, and you're building anger. So now you're relating pain with anger, and that's not a healthy way to live. So just forgiveness can go a really long way, and it's tough, but being that better person and saying, you know what, I wish you the best. You really caused me a lot of pain, and I don't deserve that. So I'm glad that I'm standing up for myself, and I'm moving on with my life, and I will find someone that is deserving of me, and I am deserving of them. And that's what I would say to that. So good for you. I'm really proud of you for standing up for yourself and doing that. So okay, Lady Field Artillery. I'm getting over my social or societal pressures, which is literally brainwashing the brainwash. Yeah, so good for you. You know, you have to rewire yourself and kind of step away from everything you know, and be open to saying like what has been working and what isn't and hasn't, and think about that. Like, where did that come from? Where did you learn that from? Find the source and kind of say, okay, well, I don't want to be a part of that source anymore, right? And making those life changes, and you know, finding people that are more in the realm of the energy that you want to really be at or associate yourself with. It's really, really important, and living that life, right? So that involves you thinking positive, because you can't. Let me tell you this from a positive person, right? If you're a negative person that wants positive people around you, it's going to be really tough to have that. And this is why. Because most people who are positive, like myself, really don't like to be around negative people, right? So what I mean by that is, like, if you're always just going to be negative and looking at the worst things of life, then that's lowering my vibration, and that's not in alignment with how I feel and I think about life. So I don't really want to be around that from a friendship perspective, right? And so because it doesn't serve me. It's not within my alignment. So you have to do the work within you, right? Or at least be open to change your perspective. And if, for those of you who are maybe a little bit negative and have positive friends and they make you feel better, you know, that's an opportunity for you to be like, wow, like, what are they doing that's working? And how can I implement those tools, not mimic them, but implement the tools, so I'm that happy. And if you were to ask them, a lot of people will tell you that they're just very happy within themselves and their hearts, right? So it's finding that peace, that inner peace within yourself, and allowing for that to happen for yourself. It's in return, you're gonna start to attract not only just positive people, but everything's gonna start to look a lot more positive. I promise. Do you know much about body physics? Yes. I mean, I don't know. I'm not like an expert, but yes, I know enough to have a conversation about it. Can I sign up for your classes? That's funny. Yes, I do. I'm going to start doing like group sessions, but if you want to do like any one-on-one sessions, go to the link in my account and you can set up a discovery call, and we can go from there. But yeah, absolutely. What does it mean if someone ghosts you? Sorry, it's not funny. The term it's funny. You know, oftentimes people that do that sort of behavior, This is just my opinion, so please keep that in mind. I would say is that something doesn't resonate with you, meaning something from them doesn't resonate with you, and sometimes instead of hurting somebody by physically saying it, some people will say, well, I'll just ignore them, and it's one of those things that it can be challenging, and that's why I just was laughing at the ghosting term. But it's something that happens, and I wouldn't take it personal, because maybe they just weren't the right person for you. If it's from a dating perspective, then they probably saved you a lot of everything. But like I said, there are people out there who are hurt themselves, and they're not navigating so much in their lives, and they don't know how to show up, and they hurt others in the process. So the ghosting thing, I think that's what it is. Oftentimes, like, oh, this person doesn't align with me, so I don't want to be rude. Even though ghosting is rude, it's like not as rude, right? than telling somebody, hey, I don't like you. Now, I'm very direct. I think there's a way to say something in a kind way and being truthful. I have to as a coach, right? I do it all the time, but I don't know. That's all I have to say about that. It's just different behavior from different people, but oftentimes they don't want to face that conflict or saying something. So that's my opinion, at least. Are you into Mind Palace and any techniques? Mind Palace? I don't know if I'm familiar with Mind Palace. Maybe you can help me out a little bit. I'm always wanting to leadership role, but having to sit and watch and learn test my patience itself. Okay, so you want a leadership role. Why do you want a leadership role? First of all, right? Like, really understand that. Is it for control? Is it because you want to lead? And then if you want to lead, why do you want to lead people? Right? Like, being real clear with that, and understanding that what makes a good leader is being able to lead people, and oftentimes it encompasses knowledge, right? Because if you're not knowing how to lead somebody, then you're not gonna be able to do that if you don't have that experience too. So some people who are natural leaders, they say, those people really like to learn a lot too. So you kind of have to, right? Like, maybe you lose patience in learning because the process. Maybe I'm curious, like, why do you want a leadership position? Is it the money? Like, what's the motive? And oftentimes I will tell you, like, why is it that impatience is there, and why you want to get there so bad. But if you understand the process, and if you understand very clearly, like, this is what it takes to be a leader, and then say, like, am I realistically that person? Do I meet those things? And if the answer is no, then say, okay, well, I have some work to do. I need to clear that I'm not ready for that, and I need to put emphasis on that. Now, if you are ready for that, if you meet all of those things, then it's just a matter of showcasing that, right? So to your boss, and also having true confidence in it, and standing up for yourself, and showing up and saying, hey, I'm ready for this position. I want to do this, and this is why I meet all the requirements, and this is what I have to bring to the table, so on and so forth. So, that would be my comment, my response on that. And then Scenaria 973, what's your zodiac sign? I'm a Leo. Yes, I'm a Leo. A very, very strong one. But yeah, so yeah, does that help? Does that answer you guys' question? I like the song, it's good. I have an ADD moment yet. But yeah, like, everything that you want, whether it's career, whether it is relationship, whether it is, abundance, whatever it is you want in your life, it really, 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 really comes within. And you have to be really clear as to why you want that. Like really, really clear, right? And then understand, like, okay, and be real with yourself, because like no one's gonna judge you, right? When it's just you against you, you don't have to worry about that. Just be real with yourself and be honest and be like let's have a real talk here, like what's the real deal here? Yeah, that would be my my response to that. Yeah. What do I keep thinking of my past? I treated someone bad, but I didn't mean to. That's Jake. Jake is radical. Well, Jake, I think that's what the word comes to my mind is forgiveness, right? I think you need to. It's a little bit of your conscious of knowing that you did someone wrong, or maybe didn't act the best way that you could have, and it's your conscious mind like feeling guilty, and it's because you haven't forgiven yourself. So I would say that your mind keeps going there because it's unsettled, and you probably have bottled a lot of feelings that go with that. And when you think about those thoughts, those emotions come up, and you probably try to avoid it. And so you keep putting them down, right? They try to come out. It's your body's like, hey, you got to deal with this. You're like, nah, I don't want to deal with that. Hey, you got to deal with that. No, I don't want to deal with that, right? So I know it may be scary, or I know it may not feel good, and this and that, but I would really recommend looking into that and discovering that, what forgiveness will look like. You know what I mean, Jake? So hopefully that's helpful. Okay, I'm gonna read some of these comments. Make sure you clear that up. I like cold. Work on forgiveness. Yeah, that's an interesting response. But yeah, forgiveness for sure. You have to forgive yourself 100%. Ladyfield Artillery. Can we be TikTok friends? I don't know what that means. I've had people ask me that before, and does that mean like I follow you, you follow me? Is that what that means? So I don't really follow people really, because that's not what I'm hearing. And some people want me to follow them and they don't have any content at all. It's kind of weird, but I'm here for you guys. I'm here to share. I usually, to be really, really honest, I don't scroll through TikTok that much, because I use this as a tool to reach out to people and to deliver my messages, and obviously for my business as well. So yeah, don't take it personal. It's really, really not at all. And I rather just interact with people like this, because I really don't have the time to scroll through your stories and stuff like that. But this is like, I think better in my opinion. But I'm here for you, basically, and for to provide these lives and do the videos that I do in hopes to help anyone who needs to hear that message, or who needs a little bit of advice, or a little bit of a bump, or bump or push, if you're struggling. So, do you have Clubhouse? No, because I have an Android, and they don't have Android apps yet. I'm really bummed. I really would love to do that. I do have a podcast though. It's Bravery Life and Health Consulting. Check that out. I'm gonna do one this weekend. So, but no, I don't have that app yet, unfortunately. Until they make it for Androids, I'm not gonna be able to have one. And then Saharma, hi, how are you doing? I'm doing great. How are you doing? Welcome to the live. I love this live chat. It's real and not a waste of time. Thank you so much, Sierra. I really do appreciate that. I really try to be, mindful of. I know there's a lot of different stuff out here on the lives, and I don't know, like people want different things, but I want you to get something out of it, right? So that's always my end goal, is to be helpful, and it's also my time, and I work for myself, so I don't, my time is pretty precious and pretty busy, but I always make time for the people, for the communities, my way of giving, and I really love to do that. So yeah, that's why I do these lives as often as I can. So thank you for that. I appreciate that. A year prior service, yes, I was in the Marines. I was in 0861 Forward Observer, JTAC with Anglico. Yes, I was in the Marines for 6 years. Yeah, I feel this makes an impact on people. Awesome, thank you so much. Really appreciate that. I really do. Hi, Fluturama Loku. Oh, I totally recommend it. Hopefully soon available. Yes, that would be awesome. Jerica. Thank you so much for that, though. But yeah, check out my podcast if you want to hear more of my perspectives. I have different topics, and I'm going to be doing one this weekend too, because I haven't done one in a while. But yeah, and then I'm going to be doing like group sessions where on Zoom. So, because I would love to be able to see all of your faces and be able to interact. Also, if you have like some questions or things like that, you can always ask me to be on this live, and I'm happy to let you in. And if you want to have like a question, like a live question, you know what I mean, or have a topic that you feel like you really want to take advantage of, you can request to join this this live, and then we can have like that conversation. So yeah, just wanted to throw that out there. I know it's an option in the app. So if you are wanting to do that, go for it. Awesome. Check it out. Let me know what you think. Sooner Babe 87. Hey, how's it going? You're going to have a podcast? I already have a podcast. It's Bravery Life and Health Consulting. I believe that's the name I put down, because I know I have it might have been taken. Yeah, it's Bravery L and H Consulting. And yeah, I have a bunch of podcasts already there, or episodes, and I'm doing one this weekend. So if you want to check that out, give it a listen. And then I had an interview recently with Aaron from Our Healing Voices. So if you want to check that out on YouTube, you can search Our Healing Voices, and it's episode 22. And you can learn a little bit more about my life, like where I grew up, how I grew up, some of the challenges that I experienced. Yeah, check it out. I'll definitely take you up on that sometime. Is there a good time for you? For what, I'm sorry? When is it appropriate to request to join live? Oh, okay. You can do it now. I mean, like I have a few more minutes. I'm about to get off. But typically when I do the lives, you can do it while somebody is live. You can ask to join. I'm really open to those. So, and then you can get off of it and resume back to the chat. But yeah. And then you can also, if you're wanting to getting the coaching, you can also go to my link tree on my profile and set up a discovery call if you wish. This is going to be my last year doing one-on-one coaching. So, take advantage of it if you want to work with me, because after this year, I'm probably going to move away from that and do more group sessions and events. So I'm going to be traveling around the world doing events, which are going to be really cool. But anyways, Sooner Babe 87, Bravery Land. Oh, no, sorry. Bravery Life and Health Consulting. So let me pull it up real quick, just to make sure I'm giving you the right things. Yeah, so it'll say Bravery Consulting, and then in parentheses it'll say Life Coaching. So it's Bravery Consulting. Alex, you should know your own name. My company is Bravery Life and Health Consulting, but in some cases, like in some platforms, I can't use all of it, so I have to improvise. So it's Bravery Consulting. Check it out, podcast. if you're interested. Okay, you're an angel. Thanks for everything. You're absolutely welcome. Laguera 108. Have an incredible day, incredible weekend. Keep crushing it. I'm so proud of you for that 20-pound weight loss. Like, you're amazing, and it's gotta feel good. It's gotta feel good. So thank you so much for that comment. It means a lot to me, and please keep crushing and keep being you. And going after the dreams and things that you want in your life, because that's what life is all about. So that's really awesome. Laguera, thank you for sharing again. Done. Subscribing to YouTube. Awesome. Thank you, Jerica. Yeah, thank you so much. It's not on my YouTube channel, but I have other live TikToks on there, but you can search again. It's Our Healing Voices, episode 222. First female, 13 Bravo. Oh, okay. Wow. At my unit. That's awesome. Infantry. That's legit. Both of my brothers were in the Army. They were infantry. So that's awesome. Good stuff. Are you still in, or are you out? And then Senaria 987 says you're really handsome. Thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah, so all right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to get off. I gotta go continue to do some work. Gonna get some sun because it's beautiful outside. And my assistant has left me. But it's my dog, Whiskey. I don't know, where's Whiskey? Whiskey! Come here, buddy. You guys want to meet Whiskey? Come here, bud. Oh, he's upstairs. Upstairs is his apartment. Come here, dude. Come up here. Come here. Oh, thank you. Okay, here, you want to say hi? You want to say hi, dude? Come here. Wait, you're going to knock that over. Oh, careful. This is Whiskey, everybody. And yes, he is my assistant. He assists me to ensure that I hold myself accountable on happiness. Anyways, all right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for those of you who joined for the first time, and honestly, thank you so much for those who have been with me since the beginning and continue to return to my lives. And I really hope this was helpful. I really hope that there was a message here that you needed to hear. And I just want to leave you with one last message, and that is that just a reminder that you're an amazing person. And I know that whatever you're going through right now, you can get through it. I really know that. And you just need to know that. You need to believe in yourself. So I ask that you take it easy on yourself. Don't be so hard, and you really take the time to be kind and to be constructive with your thoughts, and to remind yourself that anything is possible. And that if you are in a place in which you're not happy right now, do something different. Every day you get an opportunity to show up and do something different. If you continue to do the same things you've been doing and that you do every single day, you're going to continue to get the same results. So please, take action and do it for yourself, nobody else but for yourself. And if you want to show up for your friends better, if you want to show up for the exterior world better, you have to show up for yourself first, right? So please take care of yourselves mentally, physically, and in all the ways. And as always, thank you so much for living. Thank you for being you. Thank you for your support, and have an amazing, incredible weekend. All right, take care, everybody.